Heat wave. A heat wave is a long stretch of unusually high temperatures, often paired with high humidity. It forms when a strong high-pressure system traps hot air over an area, preventing cooler air from moving in. Cities tend to suffer more because concrete and asphalt hold heat, making nights feel just as intense as the day. Heat waves can strain power grids, damage crops, and pose serious health risks, especially for those without access to cooling.
Cold wave. A cold wave is the opposite extreme, bringing sudden and severe drops in temperature over a region. It usually happens when polar or Arctic air pushes far beyond its normal boundaries, often due to shifts in the jet stream. The cold can freeze infrastructure, burst pipes, and make even short exposure dangerous. In some cases, regions not used to such cold are hit the hardest. Blizzard. A blizzard is a powerful snowstorm, defined not just by heavy snowfall, but by strong winds that reduce visibility to near zero. These storms form when cold air meets moisture and energy, often along strong weather fronts. The blowing snow creates whiteout conditions, making travel nearly impossible. Prolonged blizzards can isolate communities and disrupt entire regions. Tornado. A tornado is a violently rotating column of air that extends from a thunderstorm down to the ground. It forms when warm, moist air meets cooler, drier air, creating instability and rotation within storm clouds. Some tornadoes last only minutes, while others carve long, destructive paths. Their unpredictability and speed make them one of the most dangerous weather events. Hurricane. A hurricane is a massive tropical storm system that forms over warm ocean waters and gains strength from heat and moisture. It features a calm center known as the eye, surrounded by intense winds and heavy rain. As it moves toward land, it can bring storm surges, flooding, and widespread destruction. Entire coastlines can be reshaped by a single powerful storm. Typhoon. A typhoon is essentially the same type of storm as a hurricane, but it occurs in the Northwest Pacific Ocean. The difference is mainly regional naming, though typhoons often grow very large due to the vast warm waters they travel across. Countries in East and Southeast Asia regularly face these storms, which can bring intense rainfall and landslides. Cyclone. A cyclone is a general term for large-scale rotating storm systems, commonly used in the Indian Ocean and South Pacific regions. Like hurricanes and typhoons, cyclones form over warm seas and can cause severe wind damage and flooding. The shared structure links them all, even if the names differ across the world. Thunderstorm. A thunderstorm is a localized storm marked by lightning, thunder, and often heavy rain or hail. It forms when warm, moist air rises rapidly into cooler layers of the atmosphere, creating towering clouds. While many thunderstorms are short-lived, some can become severe, producing strong winds, flash floods, or even spawning tornadoes. Hailstorm. A hailstorm occurs when strong updrafts within thunderstorms carry raindrops upward into freezing layers of the atmosphere. The drops freeze and grow into ice balls before falling to the ground. Hail can range from small pellets to large chunks capable of damaging cars, crops, and buildings. The size often depends on how long the ice remains suspended in the storm. Ice storm. An ice storm happens when rain falls through a layer of freezing air near the ground, turning into ice on contact with surfaces. This creates a smooth but dangerous coating on roads, trees, and power lines. The added weight can snap branches and bring down infrastructure. Unlike snow, ice is harder to manage and far more disruptive. Dust storm. A dust storm forms in dry regions when strong winds lift loose sand and soil into the air. These storms can grow massive, sometimes covering entire cities in thick clouds of dust. Visibility drops sharply, and breathing becomes difficult without protection. Dust storms are often linked to drought conditions and land degradation. Sandstorm. A sandstorm is a specific type of dust storm common in desert regions where fine sand particles are carried by powerful winds. The grains can sting exposed skin and damage machinery. In some areas, these storms are seasonal and expected, shaping both daily life and long-term settlement patterns.
Flood. A flood occurs when water overflows onto land that is normally dry. It can be caused by heavy rainfall, storm surges, melting snow, or even dam failures.
Floodwaters can rise slowly or rush in suddenly, depending on the situation. Beyond immediate danger, floods often leave lasting damage to homes, infrastructure, and farmland. Flash flood. A flash flood is a sudden and rapid flooding event, often triggered by intense rainfall over a short period. It can occur within minutes, especially in areas with poor drainage or steep terrain. Water moves quickly, carrying debris and making escape difficult. Because of the speed, warnings can come too late for those caught in its path.
Drought. A drought is a prolonged period of below-average rainfall, leading to water shortages. It develops slowly, sometimes over months or years, but its impact can be severe. Crops fail, water supplies shrink, and ecosystems struggle to survive. Droughts can also increase the risk of wildfires and long-term economic stress. Wildfire. A wildfire is an uncontrolled fire that spreads through vegetation, often fueled by dry conditions and strong winds. While not purely weather, extreme heat and drought play a major role in their intensity. Once started, fires can grow rapidly, threatening communities and wildlife. Smoke from large wildfires can travel far, affecting air quality across regions.
Lightning storm. A lightning storm is a thunderstorm where electrical activity is especially intense. It occurs when charges build up within clouds and between the cloud and the ground. Lightning can strike with immense power, causing fires, injuries, and power outages. Even a single strike can have serious consequences. Windstorm. A windstorm is a weather event dominated by strong and sustained winds, sometimes without heavy rain. These winds can be caused by pressure differences in the atmosphere or by larger storm systems. They can knock down trees, damage buildings, and disrupt transportation. The impact often depends on how long the winds persist.
Polar vortex. A polar vortex refers to a large area of cold, rotating air around the poles. When it weakens or shifts, cold air can spill into lower latitudes, bringing extreme cold to regions that are usually milder. This phenomenon has become more noticeable in recent years, affecting winter patterns across continents. Monsoon. A monsoon is a seasonal shift in wind patterns that brings heavy rainfall to certain regions, especially in South and Southeast Asia. It forms due to temperature differences between land and ocean. While essential for agriculture, strong monsoons can lead to flooding and landslides. The timing and strength of each season can shape entire economies. Derecho. A derecho is a widespread, long-lasting windstorm associated with a line of fast-moving thunderstorms. It produces straight-line winds that can be as destructive as tornadoes, but over a much larger area. These events can travel hundreds of kilometers, leaving a continuous path of damage behind. Microburst. A microburst is a sudden, powerful downdraft of air that spreads out rapidly when it hits the ground. It occurs within thunderstorms and can produce intense winds over a small area. Microbursts are especially dangerous for aircraft during takeoff and landing. Despite their size, they can cause significant localized damage. Freezing fog. Freezing fog forms when tiny water droplets in fog freeze upon contact with surfaces. It creates a thin layer of ice that can make roads and walkways extremely slippery. Visibility is already reduced by the fog itself, making the added ice even more hazardous. It is common in cold, calm conditions. Atmospheric river. An atmospheric river is a narrow band of concentrated moisture in the atmosphere, often stretching across long distances. When it reaches land, it can release large amounts of rain or snow. These systems are responsible for some of the heaviest precipitation events, especially along coastal regions. They can bring both relief from drought and risk of flooding.